everyone, this is Joe Drums coming to you. I hope everybody out there is doing great. I'm doing awesome. I hope you guys are staying safe from the virus. Be careful out there. Take precautions, wash your hands. If you have to cover your mouth if you sneeze. But I wanted to talk to you guys today about a new app that I've found. I don't know if it's a new app, but it's been around for a while, I guess. So it's not that new, but it's new to me because I found it. It's called Funkbox, and basically what it is old classic rhythm boxes or drum machines from back in the day. Phil Collins, Genesis, Michael Jackson, Prince. The list goes on and on for different drum machines that are out there. Well, this one program called Funkbox, it's for $4.99. It's for $5. You can get it on the App Store from Apple. I don't know if they have it on any of the other sites, so again, you'll have to find out for yourself, but it's called Funkbox, Funkbox. I think it's one word. It could be two words if you look it up there. But basically, I wanted to spend some time with this app to show you what it can do. It's very, very powerful. Again, for $5, which is very minimal for what you get with this. You can program classic drum machine sounds to songs that you maybe want to do or record yourself, like I like doing. I love re-recording songs just to be able to say I've done it. You know, that's what's so cool about it. But let's get started on that. Basically, it's on my app here. I've got an iPad Pro, and it looks like this right here. It's set up here for me. And basically, these are the function keys, just like on a regular drum box. Again, they're all touch, obviously. And so let's get into this right now, and we'll talk about the first one from Phil Collins called In the Air Tonight. All right, let's take a look. What we're looking at right now is kind of the, these are the individual pads that they have available. This screen right here is basically for volume, panning, and accents. You can also switch some of the pads from crash cymbal to ride cymbal, and they have different variations that you can set up there. I have it set like this right now, as you can see. The kick, snare, the closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, ride cymbal, large tom, cowbell, and CC crash cymbal. That's what's set up right now. These are actually the programs that I've actually set up to program for different songs. And of course, the first one, as you can see here, In the Air. Obviously, I figured out the pattern to In the Air Tonight. And this is the type of drum machine that it is. It's called a CR78. And if I tap on that, you can see that there's a lot of different drum machines available. Again, these are all comes with it for $5. I urge you to get this if you guys are into classic vintage drum machines. This is definitely the way to go. So once you find that particular one, here's the CR78. I have that already set, and there it is there. If we hit start, I can start the pattern. I have it set at 95 right now. And basically we're going to take a look at the pattern. I'm going to hit pattern edit. And as you can see, this is basically a two-measure phrase. This first set of four is 1 E and then 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and and then we have a second measure. Again, same thing, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So if you know your 16th notes, each one of these four makes up the set of 16 for each one of these drum sounds. So there's your crash cymbal, cowbell, large tom, ride cymbal, or I'm sorry, not ride cymbal, rim shot, open hi-hat, closed hi-hat, snare drum, and kick drum. That's what they call it, bass drum, kick drum. So as you can see here, I have it set. I'll let you take a look at that for a second. You can see where everything's set up. So when you get this, you can follow that step by step right there. That's for steps 1 through 16. Just freeze frame that and then Just turn it on, turn it off. That's basically how it works. If you turn it on, it's on. Turn it off, it's off. Simple as that. All right, let's go to step 17 to 32. There you go. Let that go for a few seconds. Freeze frame it if you want. Again, we're set at 95 beats per minute. Tempo is locked. The pattern's all queued up. I have this set at 2 times and 4/4 measure. So basically, the 2 measures are going. And let's hear what this sounds like. I'll take it back to the main panel. And here's what it sounds like. Pretty awesome. I was just floored when I finally got the sound of it, because I mean, where are you going to get that sound? There's not a drum machine out on the market today that can make it sound like the good old CR78. All right, so I have that one. Another song, now that was Phil Collins, but I've got another Phil Collins one, but this is from Genesis. This one's called Lonely Man, as you can see right here. I put LNLYMAN. So Lonely Man. And that's for Man on the Corner. Lonely Man. He's a lonely man on the corner. And let's play that one. Well, before we play it, let's see the pattern, what it looks like. Again, there's steps 1 through 16. Again, you can pause, freeze frame it, and then get that programmed in there. And let's do 17 through 32. And that looks pretty good. All right, let's go back and play this one. Here's what it sounds like. And again, we're still using the CR78. Phil Collins definitely loved that drum machine. And here's what it sounds like. So that is Lonely Man. Okay, the next one is called STP, Steppin' Out. That's by Joe Jackson. You might have heard this one back in the 80s. Again, this was a really cool one. Again, it's using a different box, as you can see here. This one's called the KR55. So you want to load that up first. And you have the different sounds here. Little different sounds. I've got the volumes all set like that for right now. Let's take a look at the pattern. This is a very easy pattern compared to some of the other ones we just did, the 2 Phil Collins ones. So basically, this is 1 through 16. You can see it has closed hi-hat, snare drum, and kick drum. And let's go over to that, and basically it's the same thing. You have bass drum on all 4, snare drum on 2 and 4, and the hi-hat plays just straight 1/8 notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Go back to the other one. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bass drum on all 4, snare drum on 2, snare drum on 4, and here's Steppin' Out. Alright, so that's Steppin' Out. Again, the tempo on this one is set at 160, so you might want to set that. And that is the correct tempo for the song. Okay, the next one here is in green. It's called Billie Jean. I think this was basically drum machine and acoustic drums playing on the original. But this is the closest, this thing can go with. They're using a TR-808 by Roland. Here's the different sounds. The bass drum, snare drum. Now that could be rim shot, or it could be actually like a shaker. And then crash, open hi-hat, close hi-hat, cowbell, and then clap. So here's what this one sounds like. I have it set for 117. This is Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. All right, let's take a look at the pattern. Very similar to Steppin' Out. It's got a RS, which is kind of like a shaker. Instead of the ride cymbal, it's a shaker. We have the closed hi-hat as well. Snare drum on 2 and 4, bass drum on 1 and 3. Again, remember 1 through 4 is 1 eanda, then 5 through 8 is 2 eanda, 9 through 12, 3 eanda, and 13 through 16, 4 eanda. And again, the next page is the same, so nothing different there. Okay. All right, the next one, going back to Genesis again. I love Genesis and Phil Collins. Definitely one of my big influences growing up. I always loved the drum machine sounds that he incorporated along with the drum set, which is a great idea. Drums, acoustic drums, electronic drums playing together at the same time. I think that's phenomenal. This one's called Mama, and this is actually done by the Linn Drum. This is one of the drum machines that Prince used too. And later on I'll probably add some more patterns to this as well. And you might be able to find some of these patterns online too. If you look close enough, you can find famous songs with drum machines, and it might have the pattern written out for you. So if you do find something like that, leave me a note in the comments if there's any places that you like to go that that has those patterns on drum machines, you know, old classic songs and stuff like that that have patterns. Let me know. Leave a comment. So the Linn Drum machine, here's the kick, bass. That's the bass drum, snare drum, rim shot, ride cymbal, hi-hat open, hi-hat closed, hi-hat or a high tom, and clap. And let's take a listen to Mama. Here's Mama. Let's look at the pattern first, and then we'll hear it. So steps 1 through 16. It's got closed hi-hat, CP, which is a kind of a clap, and then kick drum. So that's how that is. And again, it's all, notice all the notes except this one right here. It's all 16th notes on the hi-hat. And 17 through 32, there's what it looks like. Bass drum on 1, and then the and of 2, 3, and then the and of 4. So let's take a listen to this one. Here's Mama by Genesis. And that pattern is set at 83 beats per minute. So I got an 83.0. Most of these I just kind of rounded them off to 0, 83.0. You can go increments of 1, 2, 3 all the way up and so on. Again, so that's the Linn Drum machine, and I only had for the hi-hat, I had to bring the volume down because the hi-hat was just cranking too much, so I brought it down. Everything else is kind of nice and powerful. Again, that can vary to your liking if you have a certain way you want to have it sound. I'm not too fussy with it. It sounded good to me right there. Again, let's take a look one more time. There's the 1 through 16 steps, and then 17 through 32. All right, let's go to the next one. This one's called Der Kommissar, which is an old 80s song as well. This basically is using the Linn Drum machine as well. And let's take a listen to this one. Before we do, let's take a listen to what they sound like. So again, there's the, and there's all the clapping and the high tom. So let's listen to that one. Okay, and let's go to the next one here. This is called Der Kommissar. Basically, this is using a Roland TR-808. The sounds of the kick, snare, and the rim shot. Crash, open hi-hat, close hi-hat, clap, high tom. And I have it set at 122 beats per minute. And basically the pattern looks like this. Through steps 1 through 16, the hi-hat's playing 8 notes. It's closed hi-hat, snare drum on 2 and 4, bass drum's on 1, looks like on 3, and on the and of 4. And then basically it's on 1 and 3 on step 17 through 32, snare drum on 2 and 4, hi-hat plays 8th notes, and then we have a clap on 31 there. So again, pretty easy to program, takes a few minutes. And let's take a listen to Der Kommissar. All right, so that is that one. And again, that's using the Roland TR-808. Really cool drum machine. Again, I got the volume set all the way up. Again, the tempo is set at 122, and that is Der Kommissar. All right, let's go on to the next one. This one is by Blondie. We go back to the CR-78, the classic Phil Collins or Genesis drum machine. Again, the sound of it. And then let's take a look at the pattern. I have it set at 119.5. Seemed to be a better than just 119. It seemed to stay in time better for the song. Again, I checked these out with the song and everything to make sure they sound exactly like the song. And they're, like I said, they're really super close. As close as you're going to get other than getting the machine. That's the closest you can get. I have all the volumes up here and all the volumes down a little bit more here. Let's take a look at the pattern. This is a little more sophisticated pattern. This took me a little bit of time to figure out. High tom, low tom, and then claps going on here. There's no bass or snare or anything like that. And the next basically is the same thing. So it's basically twice. So it's called Heart of GLS, Heart of Glass. And that's by Blondie. Now there is another version of this song which goes right into the song with the drums and everything. And it doesn't start off with the drum machine. However, if you listen, there's a full version of it. And it starts off actually with this drum machine part, and then the song kicks in with the real drums. So again, take a listen to this. It's really cool. It's a neat little intro to start off the song Heart of Glass by Blondie. All right, here we go. All right, so that is that one. Let's go on to the next one. It's called EMNFRNT, Eminence Front. And that is, of course, by The Who. And this was a really great song. It starts off with this neat little drum pattern, and then it kind of fades in with a keyboard part, a synthesizer part going on. And they kind of the two connect together, and then when the song starts to take off, the acoustic drums come in, and just takes off from there. But if you can listen really hard in the background, you can still hear the pattern of the drum machine still going on. It's really cool. It's faint, but you can hear it. So let's take a listen to the patterns on this, or the actual pads. And then we got the pattern. Let's take a listen to the pattern here, or look at it. You can see steps 1 through 16. The closed hi-hats, 8th notes all the way through. We have a large tom and high tom. That's kind of acting like a bass and a snare part in here. So A little different than the average kick and snare drum sound, because I guess it was too overpowering. So he made the large tom and the high tom kind of like the bass and snare. And that's what that looks like. We have it set at 98 even, and 17 through 32 looks like that. And let's take a listen to it. Here we go. This is called Eminence Front by The Who. Alright, that's Eminence Front by The Who. Alright, I have one more for you today. Like I said, I'm going to reprogram some new ones in here as well. Keep these old ones, but program some new ones in. And I'll maybe post another video of that in the future. Okay, this next one's called Rocket, and it's by Herbie Hancock. That's using the TR-808 by Roland again. Again, the sounds are... it's set it to about 111, and we can take a look at the pattern. Pattern 1 through 16 looks like this. A little bit more busier pattern, as you can see there. And step 17 through 32. Little bit of changes going on there. And let's take a listen to it. Here we go. Alright, and as you can see here, the mixer part of it, I have the kick and the snare up a little bit, most of all the way up. I had the closed hi-hat up just a little bit less, open hi-hat down, way down a little bit more. The rim shot, as you can see here, here, and here, large tom, high tom, and crash cymbal down a little bit more. And that's the way I set it up there. Seemed to sound the best, close as I can to the track. And I have some other ones. These are all preset programmed in here. There's a KR55. This one's called Pop. I'll just let you hear what these sound like. Again, I didn't program these. These already came with it. Here's one called Fresh One. One. As you can see here too, I also, these preset patterns, some of these were preset. I re-recorded on top of them, but you can get them back. But I like these ones because some of the ones that they had in here were, I don't know, kind of corny or a little, probably not to my taste. It was something I wouldn't use. But also you got to remember here, we have A, we have B, and we have C. So you can program, you know, all of these buttons 3 different times for 3 different patterns on each one of these. So you've got quite a few preset patterns that you can use on that. Again, they're all set at different speeds, and some of them have different setups as far as the sounds. You can copy patterns. You can put them in different pattern storages, basically settings. You can route this basically through MIDI. I don't have that set up at all, so I'm not using that. You can export files into an email, so if you wanted to send your buddy one of the preset patterns, they could have it as an audio file or a MIDI file, and you can send that to them via email. Help if you have any questions. It's kind of got like a built-in manual on here. And like I said, for $5, I mean, this is a godsend for musicians that want old drum machine sounds and don't have to go out and buy all those different drum machines. Again, you have quite a few different drum machines. Some of these are repeats, but for the most part, and I think these, as they get updated, they'll add more drum machines to this. As far as I'm, aware, I've been reading up on this, that they've been wanting to add more, and people have been wanting them to add more. Again, some of these ones that have double, as you can see here, Alt 1, Alt 2, are basically different patterns and different sounds that they had set up through for each drum machine. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you guys have any questions about any of the apps or the sounds or whatever, feel free to drop me a line in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. I want to get my subscription number up even farther than I've got it now. 10,000 is great. I'd like to go 12, 13,000, 14, and so on. So guys, keep letting people know about my channel. Again, there's a lot of exclusive stuff that you can't find anywhere else on YouTube. So I urge you to stick with me. And again, don't forget to set the bell so that you get new announcements that I've got a new video out for you guys. Check out. And until then, you guys take care. Keep rocking. This is Joe Drums signing off. Again, be careful of the virus. Stay healthy. And I'll see you on the next video. Take care. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Well, you told me you were drowning. I would not lend a hand. I've seen your face before, my friend. Well, I don't know if you know who I am. And I was there and I saw what you did. I saw it with my own two eyes. So you can wipe off that grin, know where you've been. It's all been a pack of lies. And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord, oh Lord. Well, I remember, don't worry. How could I ever forget? It's the first time, the last time we ever met. But I know the reason why you keep your silence up. No, you don't fool me. The hurt doesn't show, the pain still grows. Some stranger to you and me. I can